Hello, YouTube. I'm coming on here today to talk about a topic that I don't think a lot of people are aware of because when I bring it up to people, they're like, wow, I've never heard of that term. But it happens a lot. It has happened to me. It's happened to a lot of people I've seen. And when I explain it to people, they're like, oh, no way, this has happened to me. And the topic is two things: breadcrumbing, and one that I found recently, actually myself, cookie jarring. These are basically ways a narcissistic person will treat their, let's just call them victims, in a relationship dynamic. So I wrote down a couple of definitions just to explain what this is real quick for anyone who isn't aware. And you can do your own research, obviously, but I'll give my own examples as well. So basically, breadcrumbing. Breadcrumbing, according to Google, is someone who breadcrumbs leads you on by dropping small morsels of interest, an occasional message, phone call, date plan, or social media interaction. These happen sporadically and usually don't have any follow through. Breadcrumbing in a relationship: the act of sending out flirtatious but non committal social signals, i.e., breadcrumbs, in order to lure a romantic partner in without expending much effort. In other words, it's leading someone on. I've heard too many times about people being led on. I've been led on myself. And it's apparently a trait of not just a regular narcissistic person, but someone who has extreme narcissism. And here's an example that Google gave, which I really resonated with. And let me know if you resonate with it as well in the comments. Being attentive and flirty in person, but not making a move to hang out again. Sending memes via text or social media with no other communication. Texting frequently, but not really getting to know each other. Making ambiguous plans with you that never seem to pan out. And I wrote down the other one because I felt like it was really similar, but it's slightly different. So then the other one is called cookie jarring. And cookie jarring is where you find yourself being left on the shelf as an option instead of the main choice. The act of leading someone to believe that the connection they share will lead to a relationship while knowing that it won't. So, in my own life, I've seen this time and time again, and the reason I'm making a video on it is because it's really quite frustrating to me, and I'm sure someone else out there can resonate with this and probably is just as frustrated as I am. Because as someone who is committal, I am a committed person. I'm committed to whatever I do. I'm committed to whatever relationship I'm in. I'm committed to my goals, my life, my cat, taking care of my cat and myself and my friends and my family. I have been in situations where exactly that has happened, where I'll be interested in someone, right? And I will show up for them like fully and like wholeheartedly. And I'll be like, I'm usually like giving my best. I'm like emotionally there, physically there, mentally there. And that person, while they might make like a date plan or send memes without any real communication, it really can make you think that this person is interested in you because they're breadcrumbing you. They're basically dropping little hints of interest that they might be interested in you, that this might go somewhere, knowing that it won't. And I wanted to talk about it today because I am just me personally. I'm really tired of being breadcrumbed by individuals, and I just want to spread awareness to this topic so that someone else out there can pick up on these behavioral traits. And Google said the best thing to do is to literally just cut the person off, which I thought was funny because that's usually what I do. Like, I will just cut that person off. Like as soon as I get a hint or a whiff that like I'm being led on, I will just cut them out of my life. I'll just be like, okay, so you're selfish and I don't want to be around anyone who's selfish. I don't want to be friends with anyone who's selfish. I don't want to be in a relationship with any type of relationship with anyone who is selfish. And it's basically them not taking into consideration your feelings, your mental state, and just you in general as a person. And I just want to share this information so that other people can pick up on it. So, for example, like, I'll give like my own example. Like, I met this guy a while back, and he would like we would like go on like dates and stuff, and then anytime, but see this, he would plan the date and like take me out, but then anytime I wanted to plan a date or like hang out with him, no communication, no response, no nothing. I would be like, hey, maybe do you want to get together? Nothing. Not even a call back. Like, I would try calling this person to try to get together with them, not even a call back. And like, these are just some examples that you can pick up on if someone is leading you on. And if you see this in your own life, leave immediately, because there's no hope. You can't change people. You can't make people do what you want them to do. So the best thing to do is to move on to the next one, because chances are the next one's going to be way better, if not at least a little bit, than the person who was breadcrumbing you. So, like, I loved Google's examples because they were really, really spot on. Like, the guy that was breadcrumbing me, he would send me like a bunch of memes through text and like small social media interactions, but no real communication, no words, no actually getting to know me, no me getting to know him, no questions about me. He wouldn't answer my questions. Like, we would be out, right? For example, I would be like, hey, like, can we talk about the dynamics of our relationship? And every single time I would bring this up, he would be like, no, I don't want to talk about it. Like, abort. Like, it's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. Like, you have to hold yourself to a certain standard at the end of the day, because I want people to understand that if you hold yourself to a certain standard and recognize what your worth is and your values are, then you won't put up for someone who breadcrumbs you. And I don't think anyone should put up with that, because at the end of the day, it leaves the person who's being led on wondering, what if, And as my really good friend says, it's never good to live in the land of ifs. You do not want to be living in the land of ifs, especially if someone is like forcing you into the land of ifs, like by leading you on. That's like even worse. I would say. I would also say that it is a manipulation tactic that narcissistic people will use as well, which is why Google said it's a trait of extreme narcissism. And we can sit here and say all day that, oh, it's a sickness and that person is sick and they need help. Okay, sure. But if they're not making efforts to help themselves or make changes in their own life to help themselves, abort. Like, if you're the only one who's like making efforts to be self-aware and make changes to yourself and be better for yourself and not be narcissistic, then, and you see that you're not getting that reciprocated from the other person, abort, immediately abort, because you're going to be left feeling brokenhearted at the end of the day. You're going to be left to cry alone, because while you're crying, you're going to try to call whoever's breadcrumbing you up. They're not going to answer because they're breadcrumbing you. So I just wanted to talk about this. Obviously, it's something that I feel kind of strong about, just because like I have it's actually really only happened to me like maybe like twice in my life. The one guy I was in a relationship with for like 4 years, he was breadcrumbing me. And, you know, as someone who is really understanding, and especially understanding and aware of like mental health problems, and tries to do my best to like support the person who has the mental health problem, at the end of the day, you can't push someone out of the way of a bus who isn't willing to get themselves out of the way, because then you're going to get hit. Like, you can't sacrifice yourself, essentially. That's what they mean when they say sacrifice yourself. Like, you're sacrificing your mind, your mental health, your emotional health, and your mental and emotional health, that's tied to your physical well-being as well. Because if your mental and emotional health is not like up to par, then that can actually cause physical problems with you, like whether it's back pain, or like soreness, or headaches, you know, like, or even like more severe cases, anxiety can cause like nausea, and in worst case seizures, you know, because that's where anxiety leads to, in worst case scenarios, epilepsy. So I just wanted to come on here real quick and make a video about breadcrumbing to try to spread awareness and some light on this topic, because it doesn't seem to be something that's talked about a lot. And if it is, you know, I haven't really seen much on it. And, you know, maybe I can add to the pool of other videos that talk about breadcrumbing as well, so people can try to get different perspectives on what this topic really is, and really how harmful it is to people in a relationship dynamic. And when I say relationship dynamic, I don't just mean romantic relationships. I mean any relationship, whether you are a family member, a friend, or a lover. It is not okay to be breadcrumbed. Nobody should be breadcrumbed. I don't think that anyone should be put through that, because me personally, when I was put through it, it just made me feel horrible. It literally is a tactic narcissistic people will use to make you feel less than, because they are already feeling less than. Most people who have narcissism, they don't feel worthy of themselves. That's why they try to do things to like puff up their chest and make them feel like they're in control, like they're hot shit, essentially. When they know they're not, because usually narcissism stems from a high level of insecurity, and so they do things like this to try to make up for their lack of security within themselves. And so I just wanted to come on here real quick, and I hope I was able to shine some light on this topic, give a few examples, like one guy I dated for 4 years who was breadcrumbing me at some point in the relationship. Like, he would, for example, like he would he would give me a hug in the morning, right? I don't want to get too explicit, but like he would give me a hug in the morning, right? For like every morning he would give me a hug, and that was in the beginning of our relationship. Fast forward into like maybe a year into our relationship, he just stopped. He just stopped giving me a hug in the morning. There was no more of that. And if you are ever in a situation where you have to ask someone to give you affection like multiple times, that's another sign that you're probably being breadcrumbed. Like, I've picked up on that in my own life, where I've had to like ask for affection. The person that, like, if you're in a romantic situation, the person that you are with, they should want to give you affection. You shouldn't have to ask for it. Like, it should be a reciprocal thing. Like, I want to show you affection, so I'm going to do that. And then the other person is like, I'm going to reciprocate that because I want to do that. It shouldn't be, oh, can you give me affection? And then, like, just hope they say yes. That's a breadcrumb. You don't want to be in that situation. It's not fun. And it's not cute. It's really not cute. And I see a lot of men do this, but I don't want to single men out because I've seen women do this as well. So just like people in general. And let's see if I missed anything. If you have any of your own examples of a time where you've been breadcrumb, please feel free to drop them down in the comments. I would love to know all of the examples that I can get my hands on, at least, because me personally, I'm trying to stay away from that shit. So, this video is about 15 minutes long. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to sign off now, and I hope that someone got something out of this. And thank you for clicking on my channel. If you're new to my channel, I will be posting more videos on different topics like this, including art and all the other things that I do, because I'm an artist mainly. And if you would like to hit the like button, you can. You don't have to. You are not obligated to do anything that you don't want to do. And if you would like to subscribe, that's cool too, but you don't have to. And again, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you take care of yourself, and I hope that you have standards. Don't let anyone tell you that having standards is you having expectations and you're expecting too much. Like, I came across a post a while back actually that said, this is not an expectation, this is a requirement for you to be in my life. You are required to treat me a certain way, or you're not going to be in my life. Like, nobody should be putting up with disrespect. I don't think that's okay. Like, I think that people should really start holding themselves to a higher standard and value themselves, because too many people are put in situations where they are devalued, and that creates an entire group of people that doesn't care about themselves, so they don't care about others, and it just is just a toxic cycle that we're stuck in. And I'm tired of this toxic cycle, quite frankly. I'm quite tired of it. Let me know if you're tired too, and take care of yourselves. Drink water.